Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're glad to have you here. How is the weather where you are? Our weather is great here. I hope it is the same where you are or even better. Okay, so today we're going to be walking you through how we made this romper, how we made this onesie. It is a short one, right? Yeah, short pants romper. I don't know if that's how you call it where you are. You call it a short pants onesie, whatever name that is, or a jumpsuit or a play suit. A play suit, essentially. It won't be a jumpsuit. Jumpsuits are usually the ones with long pants, right? I don't know. But yeah, so romper, onesie, play suit, yeah, whatever name you call it in your neighborhood, that is the name for this. So, but before I go on telling you all of the beautiful things we did about this onesie, are you new to our channel? Do go subscribe. On a weekly basis we bring you brand new videos walking you through inspiring you on all of the possibilities of crochet. Yep. Or walking you through how we made one of our own bespoke pieces, or demystifying what one celebrity or another wore. We also talk patterns, we modify patterns, we create patterns. Essentially everything you need to make your crochet life easy, we do it here. So do well to subscribe. Now we have our galleries up on Instagram. For wedding day apparel, you can find those at Makisode Weddings. And then for everyday corporate casuals, accessories, and the rest, you can find those at Makisode Models. Do well to follow, do well to like, do well to leave a nice comment, and do well to share our content. So yeah, let's dive in. So this onesie, right? We worked it in 1, 2, 3, 4 parts essentially. So we walked the pant leg first, right? We walked the pant leg first. We wanted it loose, yeah. So this onesie is not tight; it's loose, and so that means you'll be needing the measurement of the individual's hip plus maybe about 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how loose the individual wanted. So if you're making it for yourself, remember to add that. So +2, +3, +4 or 5 extra inches after the measurement of the hip. All right, so from this point right here where you can see, I don't know how well you can see that, we used single crochet stitches, single crochet mesh. We used very light yarn. Yeah, we used very light yarn, so you may not see all of that as clearly as possible, but right here we have more solid stitches because they were worked in single crochet stitches. And then beyond that, we now started working V stitches. Our V stitches, we worked alternating rows of the Houndstooth V and the double crochet V. The Houndstooth V right here, the double crochet V, Houndstooth V, double crochet V, Houndstooth V, double crochet V, like that. That's what we did. Now, as we advanced towards the crotch, we increased, as needed and as desired. However, on the other hand, if depending on what your plan is, if you plan to add an elastic band here, you may not need to bother yourself with the reduction, with the increases. What you will just use to work is the actual width of the hip, and then you keep going. Why? You've already determined that you're going to be inserting elastic band in the center somewhere. However, if you have no plans for elastic bands, you may want to keep your measurements not too wide as at that mid area, because you're going to be increasing as you go along. Your increases will take place at the double crochet. Look at that, at the double crochet V stitch row. Look at that. That's an increase right there. So you determine how many, at what intervals you want to add those increases. Like we added here, and then we now added right there. Okay, so you would have had to determine how many stitches in between, right, to add this your increases, because for every V stitch you add 3 stitches to that row, to the next row. Yeah, that's what happens. You are adding, every V stitch consists of 3 stitches, so you would have added 3 stitches, and of course that's a length. Okay, so you have to determine that, and then when you get to the widest part, the hip, you stop increasing and walk normally. Get to your crotch area, you divide the crotch area. This crotch area, I've talked to us about dividing the crotch area before. So you get to your front, because you would have walked it like a skirt. So you're going to find the midpoint and chain about 3 inches from the front of the panel to the back of the skirt. Let me call it a skirt, just before it turns into pants. It is a skirt first. So you would have found the midpoint there and the midpoint at the back of the skirt. Create 3 inches chain and then add that there, and then start working the pant leg. Right, this additional 3 inches here makes room for the butt to sit nicely. So this essentially creates your butt sit. Now, if you're not sure how this works, let me know in the comments, and I will, create a video teaching us about romper butt seats or pants butt seats. All right. So that's it. Just ask the question, and then we would, come right back and work it out for you. However, this should be easy for an advanced individual or an advanced crocheter to understand. So on your skirt, from the skirt at the midpoint, just add 3 inches of 3 inches right there, 3 inches as 3 inches of chain, and then work your pant leg, right? Realizing that your pant leg has to take the width of your thigh. The width of your thigh has to be taken into consideration when working this pants leg part. All right, so work that short or work that long, that is up to you. We maintained alternating the rows of the hounds V stitch and the double crochet V stitch. So for that, for the lower part of the onesie. Then we came back up. Yeah, we came back up. We worked a few rows of some more V stitches. Yeah, about 2 more rows, and then we went back to working single crochet stitches. Why? At this point, we determined that we're going to be adding we're going to be adding lace. We're going to be inserting a lace, and so we needed something solid. We needed a solid stitch rather than inserting the lace into where you have lace stitches already. Yeah, we thought that putting it where you have solid stitches would be a lot better and give it a sturdy base for where these laces will sit. So single crochet stitches right there at the middle section, just above around your navel or above the navel, before we now continued our V stitch upward, the double crochet V stitch and the hounds V stitch. Well, we walked all the way to the armpit region and then split our panels, the front panel and the back panel. We maintained the width. We did not reduce the width. We walked it all the way up. Why? The plan was that we're going to be inserting elastic bands, elastic threads to it to snatch this up. The reason for that is that this individual can wear it as an off shoulder, can wear it, wear it as a normal round neck, apparel, or pull it down into an off shoulder mode. Next, we attach the elastic bands right here. Let me just turn around and show you. So we attach the elastic bands in the middle area, like I said, around your navel point or above your navel, depending on where you feel most comfortable having that band sit. Okay, next we attach pockets. I'm going to be inserting a link to the video on how we attach these pockets, but that should be easy. Align your pockets normally right in front of you where your hands can go into nicely, such that it's not too low, so that your hands are not suspended in the pocket, but your fingers can actually touch the base of the pocket. All right, and then place them. You can use stitch markers before you start sewing on, so you sew on to the top part of the pants if you want the pockets up front. However, if you want them at the back, you do your alignments and also attach them to the back. For the lace, we just use chains. Chains were used to create this lace. So just make, with fatter yarn, for the most part, fatter yarn than what you used in working your onesie. You can put that together, do about 100 stitches or 120, depending on how long you want it to be, and attach it to the middle of your onesie, the front part middle. Find what that spot is and then put in the lace. That's all. That's all. We edge nicely with chains and single crochet stitches, right, to still maintain that wavy look. And that's about it. So yeah, is there any part about this video that wasn't clear to you? Please let us know in the comments, and we would come back with something a little bit more explicit. However, our videos, like I say, is for intermediate levels and advanced levels. If you're a beginner, this may be difficult for you difficult for you to work. So yeah, so are you that individual who loves this onesie so much, but does not have the skill level? You do not have the skill level to work it, but you would love for us to do it for you. Do ask us in the comments, and we would bring this to you for a token. We will make it for you for a token. Send it to you right where you are for a token. Now you have the skill level, but you do not have the time. All you want, is the pattern. Also let us know in the comments, and we would write you a pattern for a token. Yep, we will write you a pattern for a token. Then are you a beginner? You don't know anything about crochet? Also let us know. We can enroll you in one of our classes for a token, right? We have one-on-one sessions. We have online sessions. We have offline sessions. So whichever one works best for you, you also let us know. We'll have that discussion and schedule something appropriate for you. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe